Hi, my name is Victor. We want to welcome you to Family Time today. Today we are going to talk about something that is very, very important. But before we go into it, I want to welcome my co-host, actually the main host. Because if you're married, you know your wife is the boss. The man just wear the hat. Honey?
You know your half. And then with your spouse, you are full. The one. So it's not 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. It's actually half plus half is 1.
It's 1.
Anyway, or 1 plus 1 is 1.
That even makes me feel bad that I'm half. I'm incomplete.
Okay, let's call you 1 and call me 1. And both of us still making a 1.
Okay.
So that's beautiful. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for welcoming me to the show. And every of the viewers, we welcome you to the show. And we do really appreciate you hanging around, staying by, and getting your friends to watch these shows. It means a lot to us, and we just want to appreciate you. It's another show. You can call your friends, text them, Facebook them, and tell them that Family Time is on air.
It's on the air.
Yes.
And how about those that have called us? You want to shout?
Yeah, we also want to appreciate you so very much for calling in, because a lot of you have called. We've had to pray with some on the phone. We have had to cancel with some, and we've had to set an appointment of further canceling. This is what we do. We are here to build stable homes. The enemy is fighting, but God is able.
On the throne.
Yes,
we have
God
a
is
faithful
able.
God.
Yes.
We have a faithful God. And today, as I said, we have a great topic of discussion, something that would help you to stay stable, to maintain a healthy marriage, and hopefully raise children that are God-fearing.
Yes.
Children that are useful for our society. That's what this show is all about. We're going to talk about change and adversity in marriage. How to deal with changes and adversity in marriage. You may not know it, but change and points of change are great seasons for separation and divorce. Statistically, people make changes. People walk away. People drift away. People do things, make decisions that are anti-marriage when they are going through adversity and change. I want to read a few things that I have here so that we'll get all of it. It says, change is a marriage killer to be reckoned with. And anything that kills marriage limits family.
Yes.
Anything that limits family, of course, affects society and community. And, of course, church. So change, and by change we're meaning both whether it's change for good or change for bad.
Wow.
Whether it is when we lose our job or when we get promotion in our job, when we start making that big money. It is change. All of those polarities, the up and down, some of us are not able to handle it. A lot of us change with change. But in this episode, and hopefully the next one, we're going to be talking about how to deal with change so that change does not change you.
But it's interesting, honey, how you said, because a lot of us will think that change is only when you're going through adversity.
No.
That's actually when it changes you.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
Because adversities are going to be there.
Yeah.
You see, you remember when we were courting, we were like, what do you call that?
In smiling. You're still smiling.
You know
about
what?
it.
Because I remember it with fond memories. I really do.
And that's a good thing.
Yes, I really remember our courting days with very fond memories. You know why, ladies? You know how it is. You got everything you wanted. I got everything I wanted. I asked my husband, no question. I asked him to jump, and he said, "Okay, baby, how high you want me to jump?" And then once we got married, it's like jump. It's like, okay,
I'm at work.
So now
I gotta go to work.
So you realize. So that's why I said,
I got to catch some sleep and go to work. look.
That's why I remember it with fond memories, and I remember the marriage with fond memories. I really do. But when you are courting, you don't understand that you're in cloud nine.
Yeah.
So you're not grasping the fact that things might get out of balance.
Yeah.
When you get into the real
that this
marriage,
situation is not real.
that this situation may not always be the way it was.
Yes.
And for we women, sometimes a lady says, I don't really care about a man and whatever he has. All I want is a man that loves me. I know I'm one of those ladies. Loves me for who I am. But sometimes it can come up to where after marriage, certain pressures of life get in the way. For example, somebody got to get pregnant.
Yep.
Are you that's one of a change.
Big change.
And it's not a bad change as it is. It's a good change. But that alone begins to change the landscape of a newly married couple.
Yeah.
And then the woman's body is taking different shape. And then the man is feeling like, wow, I married a monster. But it's interesting that you mentioned that changes, whether good or bad, can change us.
So what
are some of those negative changes? Let's start from those and then go to the positive changes.
The negative changes, of course, are the ones we know. Somebody gets sick.
Okay.
Somebody loses his job.
Yeah.
Somebody loses a parent. A child dies. The couple loses someone. Those are all negative. Someone gets transferred, has to work somewhere. And the proximity, the nearness is broken.
Yeah.
Somebody doesn't have a visa. You live here, your spouse lives abroad.
Right.
Yeah, those are changes.
You have to
Suddenly you can only communicate by phone. You don't know what's going on. So those are adversities. Changes that are negative are called, of course, adversities. Going through them. And of course, we have the positive change. So the negative ones could be economic. It could be social. It could be spiritual.
What is social? When you say social?
Social could be that somebody starts getting into the wrong crowd.
Okay.
Your wife, your spouse starts making friends with people you're not comfortable with.
That's right.
Suddenly they are no longer available to you. Or even they want to take you to where they're going, but you don't feel comfortable with those groups.
Right.
That's a change.
That's really a change. And that change, I'm glad you mentioned that change. It turns a man, a husband, or a wife from something they never was to something else entirely. A lot of divorces have happened just because the man or his wife got in the wrong crowd.
Joins the wrong crowd.
Because once you join the wrong crowd,
you imbibe their principles.
Part of the thing is that words are shared among the group, and words are seeds. And when you begin to sow those seeds, one of your bodies says something and you're like, oh, no way, it can't be me, it's not going to be me. You shove it off the first day, you shove it off the second day, but by the third day, it's beginning to grow roots.
It's beginning to grow roots.
And the spouse is like, wow, you're beginning to come home late.
And she or he is the first person to notice. You don't even know it.
You don't know it.
You're having
you
fun.
may not even realize it, but your spouse is picking it. And then the kids begin to pick it. And it becomes a whole new... By the time you know it, if you don't stop yourself, you even that got into that crowd, you're finding yourself in something you never, ever expected would ever happen in your life.
And sometimes it's not people. It's also things. You start drinking. You start doing drugs, you start walking too much. Those are social changes that upset the balance at home. The status quo between you and your spouse, these things change them. Because when you drink, you're no longer who you were. When you do drug, you're no longer who they're used to knowing. When you walk long, you don't come home early, you're not available, and when you come, you're tired. You want to sleep.
Yeah.
And when you wake up, you want to head out again. So your priority changes.
It's no longer. And then you mentioned something about being sick.
Sick.
I work in the healthcare industry, and sometimes you see people come in.
Yeah.
They're married.
Yeah.
But their spouse is no longer with them because this spouse got hit with. Let me give you an example. A man, working so hard for his family, and boom, a stroke happens.
Yeah.
He no longer has that function.
The limbs.
The limbs are weak, or they're starting to not even being able to walk.
It has to be carried around.
It has to be
to
fed
restroom and others.
and everything, groomed and stuff like that. And unfortunately, there are some women that go so far, and they're like, no, I cannot live my life this way. They throw in the towel. They're out the door.
And some men too.
And some men, is vice versa. A lady told me, you know what, I am not going to be able to continue to deal with this with my husband because, he's not bringing it on. He's not bringing it on. He has a bad heart. And the doctor said he cannot have intimacy with her anymore. And she said, that's it. She's not going to, because she wants a baby, she's going to, cut off the relationship. So those are the drastic changes that we're done. And I was telling her, you're going to leave your husband now that he doesn't feel good, but it's very trying. It's a trying time.
It is a trying time. Yeah. It is, but here's the fact. Those are the very thing that marriage was designed to handle.
There you go.
Those are the very things, changes and adversities. Yes. That's what marriage is supposed to handle easily. And we'll talk about that either on this episode or next one.
Right.
We'll talk about marriage as an insurance against health, against bad health, against losing your job, against all kinds of changes, economic changes, social changes. And of course, we didn't talk about spiritual changes.
Right.
The person you were going to church, praising God, praying, studying the Bible with, sometimes suddenly loses interest.
Right.
And that is a big one.
Yes.
And the guy comes from, and I say guys because we are the ones that kind of reason a lot.
You're the ones that are very analytical and rationalize. Wow. Sure? Even with God, you guys are rationalized.
We do. Thomas was.
Yeah. We ladies, we are like, okay, hey.
Let us pray. You guys will close your eyes and be clapping.
And that is why God loves us, ladies. God loves us and prefers us than men. I'm just kidding. But, we just, is God in the picture? We're in. We're in. That's
and the guys want to ask which God.
Okay. What does it look like?
Is that the real God or your God or fake God?
Yes.
So we will be right back. But this show is going on. I'm sure you're enjoying it. We're going to talk about what changes does for us, to us, and what it's supposed to do to us, whether it is economic, social, intellectual, spiritual, whatever change you're going through, good or bad, how that affects us next time. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, viewers. We want to welcome you back again, continuing on Family Time today, and we appreciate you for staying tuned, up till this point. And we've been discussing on this episode about how changes can affect families, either positively or negatively. But in the previous segment, we were talking about some negative changes, adversities that can bring about a change in the home, or that can affect the home. And on this segment, I'd like for us to talk about some positive changes, because believe it or not, there are positive changes, blessings from God.
I think when you
let's call it blessings. Yes,
for families.
How blessings can affect it. So honey, what are those blessings from our wonderful God that we've prayed. Some of them we prayed and fasted, and some of them we knocked on doors. And here, some of them we toiled to get them, and here they are.
And some of them we toiled together with our spouse.
With our spouse, most of them we do toil together with our spouse.
Well, a few of them, your spouse leaves you alone to
deal with
doesn't believe in what you're doing.
Right.
You deal with it alone.
Right.
But in most cases, even when you are in school, your spouse is taking care of the children.
Right. So you guys did it together. So what are those? Just break it down for us.
Let's start from the school part. Okay. The school part, that there are, of course, school changes. You go to school, you graduate from school.
Which is a good thing.
It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. And let me use one that is very all of us know. Right. You go from BSN, now you're a nurse practitioner. It used to be that you go from LVN to RN.
Yes.
that was the change that blows things up for families here. Yes. I think now for most people they are going to nurse practitioner. The big bucks are coming. That's one change.
Yeah.
And for those of us who are working, it could be a change in your workplace. You get promoted.
Yes.
You become the big boss.
Yes.
Big money is coming, your car, you change your car, a few things change.
Yeah, like our daughter, I mean, she's not married, but I remember talking about promotion, you remember 2 weeks ago, she called, she said, "Oh, Mom and Dad, I got promoted at my job." And she was very excited about it. And we were excited on her behalf too, but we're not experiencing any stressful change like that yet,
But that's a change.
That is a change.
Yeah, that's a change. What other positive change? You can get a better job elsewhere. But that job comes with its stress.
Right.
Business. Your business suddenly blows up. You start making money. But the one constant that runs through all those things is that more money is coming to the family.
Yes.
More money, better position.
Yeah.
Better position. That's the blessing that you're talking about.
And what about a couple that have been trusting God for a child?
That's a sort of one.
Yeah, they prayed, they fasted. Sometimes, like you said, the woman has to deal with it on her own. Yeah, because there are some situations where men, they don't want to be kind of, every time we're talking about, I need a child. No. Most of the time, it's the ladies that get so, the woman, shaken and frizzled up about it.
The woman is talking about it so much that the man has nothing more to say. You become a calming agent.
Yeah, because from certain societies, a certain culture, when there is a marriage and there is no child coming out of the marriage, you all know who to blame. Who the society blames.
The one that carries the pregnancy.
Yeah, but now we're in more enlightened society, and we're hoping that things are beginning to change. Exactly. But be that as it may, some people stayed 5 years before they were able to conceive, and some people stayed 10 years or 9 years. But the point is, finally, the child got here. And what can be so stressful? I mean, hello, the object of our prayer has been, God has answered, but believe it or not, that brings about a drastic change in some families.
It is a change that changed.
I think part of the reason is because we women, being who we are, we're very nurturing. So when the baby comes in, especially if it's your first one, it's challenging knowing to nurture the baby and nurture the husband.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Look at this, you ladies. If you're a lady and that baby just arrived, don't forget your first nurture. That's the first nurture. That's going to also be the last nurture, because this baby someday will leave and you'll be left alone. So I'm not saying ignore your baby or neglect your baby. Give him his due. Give the man the main thing. He's the man. He's the one that...
but women come across, and you ladies, you agree with me on this one. Women come across that the man is a big boy.
He can take care of himself.
He can take care of himself. He will fix his own food. The baby is a baby. It's just like if you have like 3 or 4 kids. By the time you get to the 4th one, you're not as attentive as you were to the first one. As a matter of fact, that's why women are very good managers. You co-opt to the first one to help the second and the third one while you concentrate on the baby. So, but as my husband said, the coming of a new an addition to the home should not in any way neglect the real the king of the castle.
He's a king.
Yeah, it should not neglect the king
and
of
in
the
the
castle.
same way for guys, promotion at work.
Yeah.
Suddenly you can't go home because you have so much work. So the job and the new promotion, the new title, the new business becomes a new baby. It's like a new baby. And then we leave our queen and we're giving more time to the job. It's the same thing. We gotta keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
The home, marriage, whatever it is, whoever worked with you to get you to that point,
Yeah.
you got to keep that priority. Keep them first. Job second. Of course, God first. Your family second. Your job third.
And you know what? Another thing is when the promotion comes in or the graduation comes in, because with the graduation is more money. When more money comes into
anticipation of more money.
Yeah, and when more money comes into the family, it is also very sad that people now begin to, like, if the more money is coming in through the man or through the woman, you know, instead of it being a blessing, okay, now this family used to make this much and now we have more. You know, whoever got promoted or got the graduation or got the increase now begins to feel, okay, now I can expand my buying, my purchase power. You see? And now I comes in. Now I comes in. You know what? I need another car. You know what? All those clothes in the store that I've closed my eyes on, I'm about to open my eyes onto this car. Yeah, it's like the mall. Here we come, and it becomes an business, an ideal, and you neglect to carry along your family, your spouse, the one that was there from the very beginning. And that's what I find out as a very serious error.
It is a very serious error, and we will be talking about, we don't have a lot of time to talk about how to deal with these changes so that it doesn't change you to the negative.
Right.
We will talk about them in the next episode, but I want to show you that changes are supposed to be good.
Yes.
They are good things.
Yes.
Whether, and by the time we finish this episode, you'll see that whether it is loss of job or promotion at work, they are good.
Yes.
They all come with their own blessings.
Yes.
There are things to be gained from it that help us to become stronger, to become bigger. And the better thing is that no one else, no other union, no other entity is designed solely to handle change than marriage.
That's it.
And we'll see that. And I say that with all amount of certainty, that God anticipated that you will go through adversity.
Changes, yes.
And that's why he looked at Adam and he said, it is not good to leave this man alone.
That's it.
Because if anything happens to this man, that's it. But if I give him a helper, we can sustain this thing.
Yes.
If they have 5 kids, he dies, the wife is there.
Yes.
If they have 3 children, he loses his job, the wife is there.
Yes.
If the wife gets sick, the man is there.
Yes.
Why? Because God anticipated that these things will happen. Viewers, we will be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Well, viewers, we are talking about changes. There are ingredients and skills that we need to survive drastic changes. More than half of marriages that occur because there's a change. Someone changes, situation changes. As they say in Nigeria, level changes. And we change with that level. We have resources that would help you to not allow those change to change you. One of them is the power of agreement. If you can agree with your spouse and stay in agreement, there's nothing that any change can do to your family. Another resources that we have is this one here, 21 days praying and fasting. If you stay prayerful, nothing can change you. Viewers, that's all we have for today. Join us next week, same time, same place, and we'll continue on this discussion. God bless you. Honey, say hello and say bye.
Thank you, viewers, for watching, and we'll see you next week, same station, same time.
Bye-bye.